Today's video is going to be probably the most valuable video I ever made in last 17 years. And you know why do I say that? Because I'm going to talk about hype versus trend versus tradition versus expired technologies of the future. Now, why this is important for you to know is because many a times you enroll into a wrong course, you go into internship in a wrong internship or wrong project you join, and then there is no future of that. And then you come back saying that there is no scope, no future. But the truth is that part ended long back and you did a project in that. So it's very important for you to know what is a hype, what are the types of hype which is happening in the industry, what is a trend, which is going to be a tradition. So this video will help you pick up those trends which is going to be a tradition of the future industry, and it will help you stay away from those technologies which are going to be expired in the future. Okay, so let's start with the first point, and that is biotechnology industry and pharma industry is evolving by the minute. It's changing, it's dynamic, right? Newer ways of doing things are coming, and that obviously means the older ways are getting expired, right? So that means we have to be ready with the new things. But how do we know that what we are going to pursue is going to be our tradition of the future? Right? What if I learned some technology, but that's not going to be useful or used in the future? So, that is where this video will come into picture. So let's start with the hype. Now, hype is generally created by some money-minded people who really want to extract money out of you. So what they will do, for example, colleges. So the moment biotech industry started evolving in India, suddenly every college had a biotech department, and all of them started talking about that all the people who are going to enroll here are going to get placed, and they created this myth that okay, there is employability and there is huge scope, which is not the truth. Instead, the truth is there is scope for the right people who are skilled, not for everybody. If you don't know the skill set, you can't get placed in the industry. That's something which they never said. So every Tom, Dick, Harry enrolled, and now they expected employment. And when they didn't get, they went to internet and went out their frustration. And that's what you see today. But if you are the cream, you're definitely going to get placed. Nobody can stop you from that. Okay, that's one example of hype. Now let's take another example of hype. So you will not believe, when I was passing out, clinical research was a big hype in India. So there was this big Indian Institute of Clinical Research and all that, and they will put a big advertisement in Times of India that they have placed people in this company. But today they have all vanished, right? All the clinical research training companies are gone. But that era, they created a hype, that a false sense that you have great employment opportunities in clinical research and you can get in. And a lot of people paid 10 lakh rupees fees to enroll into those courses, and today they are boom, they're not there. So that was a hype. So that's the first example of a hype. And at Biotecnika, we always made sure that we carefully stay away from hype. Whatever we post on our website is clearly, highly verified, authenticated information. If it is not authenticated by a neutral editor, it does not go on the website. So that's something which you should know. So that is how we stay away from hype. Now let's come to the next one, which is trend. Okay, so when there was a trend, and that trend was like, okay, let's take the COVID era. So in COVID era, two things were trending. Okay, one was share market and the other was bitcoins. Okay, so people said, you invest in bitcoins, you will become a millionaire overnight. Tomorrow you'll be able to order pizza through bitcoins. Where is bitcoin today? Bitcoin is gone. Poof. Right. So that was a trend which didn't convert into a tradition. The same thing, I'll give you example of share market. So share market, everybody in the COVID era, invest in share market, you will become a millionaire overnight. I used to see all that, and I made a video also that you can't do that actually. But today, where is the share market? After the Hindenburg and all that, whatever you're seeing, it's a bloodbath, right? So trends sometimes don't become traditions, right? And that happens in the biotech industry also. So it is important for you to know that which trend will become a tradition, right? So let me know in the comment section what trend you think will not become a tradition, and what will become a tradition of the future biotech industry. Let me know in the comment section. I'll give you some examples. So the first example I can give you is CRISPR. Okay, CRISPR is a trend today. It is definitely going to be a tradition of tomorrow. There are going to be multiple technologies built on the top of CRISPR, because CRISPR is cheaper, CRISPR is better, much more efficient, and is already adopted by the industry, right? And there are billion-dollar companies on this. So CRISPR is definitely going to be the tradition of future. That's one. The next one I can tell you is, which is going to be a trend, which is a trend today and is already becoming a tradition, which is genomic sequencing. Genome sequencing, RNA, DNA, all this is going to be a tradition, and it's already a tradition of the future. You should blindly go into it if you have interest. Now, I'm not saying you go in if you don't have interest, but yeah, that's something. The third one is bioinformatics. Now, bioinformatics is a trend, has been a trend for past 15 years. And it's going to be a tradition. It's already a tradition in various companies like Moderna. And it's going to be in huge demand in the future. But for that, you need to be the top 5% cream in this world. You should be the top 5% bioinformatician. Then you see how the entire industry comes and says, sir, please work in my company. That is how it will be. But you have to target that 5%. Okay, that is where the growth will happen for you. Other people will live in the valley of disappointment, thinking that there is no scope, there is no growth. But the truth is, there is always no growth when you are a middle class. Okay, and if you want to jump to the high class, then you need to overcome this valley of disappointment, be in the top 5% of efforts, top 5% of strategy, use the top 5% of technology. That's how you grow. Okay, now coming to, that's about the trend and the tradition. So tradition is something which will last for say 50 years or 30 years in the industry. This particular thing will be there. Now, suddenly, okay, there is always an expiry date to every tradition, right? So for example, I'll give you two examples. Two fields which are going to die in the next 3 years. Okay. The first is science journalism. Okay. It's going to die. And why it will die? Because of artificial intelligence. Because you don't need so many scientific journalists, because AI can write that much more efficiently, right? It's already happening. The second one will be medical writing. Okay. AI will be able to write it. AI will be able to listen, transcribe. Why do you need a medical writer? You won't need in the future. Even if you need less, because technology would be doing most of the jobs. So these are the two which is going to expire in the near future. And I'm not saying CRISPR will not expire 30 years from today, but yeah, it will. But by the time newer tradition would have come, newer trend would have come. So what you have to do is stay ahead of the curve. What you have to do is learn newer technologies, and you have to invest in those technologies which is going to be a tradition. Don't invest in those which you don't need, or which will not become a tradition, or you don't have interest. And to analyze your interest, to analyze your trends which will become into a tradition, and to protect yourself from wrong hype, you need a mentor. You need a mentor which is a professional mentor who is an implementer, and Biotecnika team is full of such mentors who are implementers. So if you are in a dilemma, if you are in a question situation, if you are in a catch-22 situation where you don't know what to choose, what to decide, you know where to go. Biotecnika team is always there to help you, guide you. Comment below what kind of dilemma you are into, and I'll try to help you. Now, one last thing to all of you is a question which I asked my father, and he answered in a very nice way. I said that, Papa, if you had invested in land in the area where I live today, I would have been a Karodpati. Okay? And he laughed. So this happened 15 years ago. I said that if you had invested, instead of investing in my education, if you had invested 10 lakh rupees in land in Bangalore, I would have been a Karodpati today. Okay? Because the real estate cost is so high today. He laughed and he said, I invested in your brain. The land somebody can buy, somebody can acquire, somebody can capture. Nobody can take your brain from you as long as you're alive. So I invested in something which will stay with you forever. Right? That answer hit me here. I was like, he's right. And that is one of my motivations today in educating my students. I want to tell you this: invest in your brain. Invest in trends which will become traditions. Invest in future technologies. Invest in your mentors. And you will see magic will happen. You will definitely be sometime in the valley of disappointment where you won't be able to see the near future. For example, I sit in a car. I have to go to Chennai from Bangalore. Do you think I can see Chennai when I'm in Bangalore, right? I can't, right? But I have to have firm belief in the system, in the driver who is driving, in the mentor, in the person who is taking me forward. And then that's how you pass through the valley of disappointment and you achieve greater, grander results for all of you. So this is what I wanted to talk to you today. This video, I believe, is one of the most valuable video I ever created. Let me know in the comment section what is your opinion, and I'll definitely try to improve the next one. Thank you so much for watching. It was wonderful interacting with all of you. See you soon in one of our courses or internships where we will team up to learn trends which becomes technologies. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you soon in the next one. Till then, take care. Namaskar.